Alrighty, we are live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ango Show. We're live. What's up, everybody? What is happening? I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode of Dynamite, because I did. I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's episode of Dynamite, and that's why we're going to talk about it. I'm super geeked about it. Wow. So much to uncover. We got some stuff with FTR. We got some stuff, obviously, with Kenny Omega and everything that's happening there. I mean, there is literally so much stuff that is happening on tonight's episode, which I was tweeting about it out. Like, I tweeted it out. I said, this feels like 2019 through 2021 AEW, and boy, am I right, and boy, am I happy about that. Literally, I am so excited about that. Shout out to Justin Kennington, becoming a member for 6 months. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Justin. Justin says, so, Ango, is this the final match for AEW with FTR? And that's actually a good question. I mean, we don't know. They said that they weren't going to work everybody. Obviously, they turn it into a storyline. So we'll see. I believe that FTR is not going to be in AEW, but that's just my guess. That's not... I don't think they're going to be in WWE either. I think they're going to be doing their own thing whenever they want, type of thing. But we'll see. Who knows? Thank you, Justin, for being a member. Guys, if you want to be a member and get perks, you can get emojis and emoticons and all of these different things. You also get VIP service in the Discord. Feel free to check it out by clicking the join button. What's up, Todd? So yeah, a lot of people obviously talking about AEW. I saw it personally on my Twitter feed. It looked like a lot of people were really happy with Dynamite tonight, which I'm not really shocked. I mean, I kind of expected something good. Last week we saw what happened with AEW last week, and I said, you know, when you can leave the show in a way where people want more for the next week, that's when you know you're doing the right job. And we've seen WWE do this a lot since Triple H took over, but now we're starting to see it again with AEW. So I'm going to rip into a lot of fans tonight, because I've been saying for the last 6, 7, 8 months, actually, no, fuck it. Honestly, for the last year, I have said so much about AEW lacking stories. I have been saying so many times that nothing feels important on Dynamite, and people sit there and they absolutely 1,000,000% will try to defend AEW through all the garbage shit that they put out. If you cannot watch last week's episode and this week's episode and clearly see that there is a massive difference between AEW now versus what it was before, then you're a fucking idiot. Like, there is clearly a huge difference. And I don't typically swear on my live streams, but I can't believe how many people will negatively talk to me and tell me I'm an idiot, I'm ridiculous, I'm stupid, I'm biased, I'm this, I'm that, when I consistently say I just want everything to feel like a big deal. I just want there to be logic within storytelling. I just want stories to matter. This whole thing, and I don't understand who has the freaking brain cells to be saying this shit. I don't know what's going on in people's brains for people to sit there and be like, oh, well, this match doesn't have a story, but WWE's match doesn't have a story either, and I don't see you talking shit about WWE. Not every match needs to be a freaking storyline. It just needs to feel like the story is somehow connected to it, which we actually saw in the main event, right? Vikingo and Kenny Omega had an incredible main event. They didn't need a story into the main event. My whole thing was, yes, you should educate your audience and people who he's wrestling. But it's not about Vikingo and Kenny having a storyline, which technically there is one that dates back to 2021. But there's two things. One, AEW is responsible for telling you the story. And two, if there's not a story associated with a specific match, that's okay, but draw the story in somehow, which that was the big thing that AEW did tonight, right? We saw this. This is all I was fucking asking for. I wasn't saying anything crazy, but yet for some reason, people love to shit on me in my comments when I talk about asking for more stories or a focus of like being logical and keeping people captivated long enough. Everything on the show has to feel like a big deal, not just some filler shit, you know? And I'm so tired of like wrestling fans getting pissed at me because they're like, oh, well, you're biased. And when the fuck have I been biased? I'm literally just saying flat out that all I'm asking for is everything to be pieced together cohesively so the show has a flow and a pace where every story, every match, everything that is happening on television matters to a certain degree. Something called progression. That's literally all I've been asking for. Last week on Dynamite, we got it. This week on Dynamite, we got it. And the funny thing is, AEW knows they need to introduce Vikingo to their audience because they dropped a video package today. They should have done it last week. They didn't do it last week, but nonetheless, they did it. And I just feel like AEW delivered a very, very good episode tonight. It wasn't incredible, but it was very good. And BCC being the heels, ending the show that way. By the way they started the show, I mean, that in itself was something pretty freaking massive. And we'll talk about that too. And then also, we're going to give a huge shout out to Derev on my Discord server. You should do a video celebrating Moxley's first match of 2023 with no bleeding. Here you go. There you go. This is the celebration, my friends. We got a couple super chats. We got one from Albert Ponce for $2. Finally, everything had a story and felt important. See, we know AEW offers good wrestling matches. We know this. We just want more to it. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for anything crazy. And we're not asking for Tony Khan to do something he's never freaking done before. We're literally not asking Tony Khan to reinvent the wheel. We're just asking him to drive the damn thing. That's really what it is if you think about it. Like, we're just asking Tony Khan, like, bro, you've done this before. That's why if you didn't watch Dynamite tonight and you didn't see a correlation between this and some of the stories that have happened in the past in AEW, then you don't remember when AEW was actually doing great storytelling, because tonight the stories were fantastic. And all it is a continuation of last week, honestly. And then the best part is you got Don Callis doing some shady ass shit at the end where it's like, okay, now this dude for real is like, he's making me want to see what the hell is going on. Because for Don Callis, I don't know, maybe there's a story between Kenny and potentially Takeshita. I don't know, because Don Callis is working on the Takeshita thing. But the idea of Hangman coming to the aid of Kenny and everything that they're doing, there's just something about it that's like amazing. And by the way, it seemed like AEW took some notes from WWE, right? We see the Bloodline story every week. There's something that happens at the beginning, middle, and end that keeps you watching the show. AEW did that tonight with the Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Young Bucks, Ambulance, Hangman Page thing. So the way they started the show and kept it going throughout the night, that is magical, bro. And it's not something that is new to this company. They've done this shit before. So we've talked about this before. You can go back and watch my old live streams. And 2022 did not have any of this, okay? It did not have any of that. But now 2023 seems to be good. I'm super happy about it. Albert, thank you for the $2 super chat. We got another super chat from Andre Benson for $2. The last match should have been on pay-per-view. That was my only complaint that I said. I knew, because I watched AAA, so I knew Vikingo would be really good with Kenny Omega. I kind of expected something magical there. So I actually said at the time, I said, my only complaint is that it's a free match on TV, which is not something to actually complain about, but that could be a main event match for a pay-per-view, just so you guys are aware. I feel like if you've ever watched Vikingo in AAA, like, he did a lot of his great spots and 630s and Dragon Ranas and all of these different things that he typically does, but this guy could even do so much more. So you can't do that in a 20-minute TV match or whatever the actual duration was. But nonetheless, it was super cool. I agree with you, Andre. Thank you for the super chat. We got a super chat from Mr. Corona for $1.99, but there's no comment associated with it. So, Mr. Corona, I can't read your comment, but if you think of it, I'll look for it in the chat. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for super chats. If you guys want to contribute, go ahead and drop a super chat. Also, just a quick reminder, WrestleMania week is it's going to be insane, my friends. We'll be live every single day, and I'll be live. Actually, I lied. I won't be live this Friday because I have been invited out to the Impact Wrestling pay-per-view Sacrifice, so I'll be there, and that should be really cool. We'll see what happens. With that being said, we're going to continue. Lots of great comments. Lots of great comments in the chat, so make sure you guys are showing love in the chat, whatever it is. And if you guys haven't clicked that like button, please do me that solid favor. I'd appreciate it. So Mr. Corona actually said BCC versus Elite versus Dark Order triple threat blood and guts match. Hey, I seen that comment in the chat, and I just want to say right now, when it comes to BCC, Elite, and Dark Order, who put the Young Bucks in the hospital? Right? I think it was Matt Jackson that was in the ambulance. Who put him in the ambulance? Who attacked him? Because they didn't show the attack. They just showed the ambulance of him being put in the ambulance. I have a weird theory. Don't quote me on this. There's no reports. I don't have the script. I just think maybe the Dark Order turning heel is going to be a massive change for them. What if that's the case here? What if Dark Order is testing Hangman Page's loyalty? I think that's a good theory to throw out there. Just imagine for a second, what if Dark Order is testing Hangman Page's loyalty, and clearly he's showing that he wants to be with the Elite and he wants those guys back together. My theory is that at this point, maybe it was Dark Order who did it. And that's going to be... I think there's a lot more to this story that AEW doesn't want you to know yet. But it's just like one of those things like WWE typically would do is like, oh, who did it? You know, WWE does those storylines very well. I think AEW in this situation, a lot of people aren't thinking it's necessarily Dark Order, but it would make sense. And I want to explain why it makes sense, right? It makes sense because the Dark Order, they've always kind of been Hangman's friend when Hangman didn't have anybody after the Elite. But now that the Elite is kind of teasing that they're together, I don't know. There's something to me that tells me maybe Dark Order is fed up about that they see in plain sight that Hangman Page really isn't as loyal to them. Because remember, Hangman Page did refuse to join the Dark Order being their leader. He's always kind of been like an honorary member. Just something to kind of keep in mind. That's my theory. I think maybe the Dark Order did it. And I'm not saying blood and guts, a triple threat, but I would love to see something with BCC, Elite, Dark Order. I think even throwing House of Black into the mix could be really cool. I'm really excited to see all of these groups come to fruition. And then obviously the whole thing with Kenny is mind-boggling to me. So that's my theory. Let me know what you guys think about that. Nate said AEW was okay. I'll give it a thumbs up. But because of that Kenny Omega match, FTR, and the Elite, and because Goldberg didn't show up, that's funny. I'm not going to take any criticism, though, on the Goldberg thing because Goldberg showing up in AEW honestly would not be a bad idea. I know a lot of people are going to hate that shit, but I'm sorry. I'm just being so honest. I am being so honest. Goldberg, he's got to put somebody over. You know what I mean? I made a whole video on it on More Ango if you guys didn't watch it. So you guys could definitely watch that. But Rick says, I love Dark Order as heels. I mean, I think they could be really good as heels, honestly. I think they could be really good. I would like to see them go for the Trios Championships at some point, but we don't know, obviously, if that will happen. It's hard to say because the title belt situation in AEW is probably the worst it's ever been, despite the TV. Like last week and this week, everything was freaking really good. But I'm just kind of annoyed with how they're handling titles, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'll probably talk more about that on a deep dive for More Ango. That's kind of where I do all of my like opinion stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you guys were wondering what More Ango is, and I'll drop the link for you guys in the chat. Maybe you guys don't know that I do it, but those are kind of more of like me just talking about opinions based on certain things happening in wrestling. Might be negative, it might be positive, it might be tweener, but I like doing that type of stuff. Definitely pay attention to it because there's going to be more of that. Todd says it right. He said, you're right, Angle. There's always a twist you don't expect. I think this is one of those situations for real. I think with the Dark Order, there is definitely a twist. I think there's something there. And I think AEW, man, it's just like, I don't know. I just felt like this episode was really strong, bro. Really strong. And if you're not one of the 150, 200 people watching live, you're probably going to watch my videos and listen to me critique AEW. But like, the thing is, if you really watch AEW tonight, like I said, you could just tell there's a clear difference between what they did tonight and what they were doing last year. For a majority of their shows last year, they didn't have anything this good on them. And it's just, you know, I don't think you need to be a freaking wrestling expert to notice the difference. You know what I mean? I think you could just clearly tell. Which, by the way, I saw a lot of people be critical of the red, white, and blue ropes. Everybody's going to have their own opinion on that. Myself, personally, I like it, but I've always liked colored ropes. I've always been one of those guys that have been, like, all about that. Like, WWE has the white ropes. NXT at one point was doing, like, the yellow ropes with the black mat or whatever. Everybody's going to have their own different spin on it. I think red, white, and blue is cool. There's nothing wrong with it. I actually like color. I actually wish... I always kind of get pissed because I know AEW is trying to look different than WWE, but I think they should brighten up the crowd a little bit. And the lighting in general probably could be improved a little bit, but that's just my own personal opinion. I just think WWE's production is next level. it'd be nice for AEW to kind of copy that in a sense, but they don't have to. It's not a make or break type of thing. It's just one of those things I've kind of noticed. I'm looking at the chat though, because that's what we like to do when we're live. We like to talk with you guys on the chat. Justin, I know before you want to call in. Do you want to call me on Discord and we can chat for a second? Because I know last stream we weren't able to do that. I did that with Albert, but I wasn't able to have you on. If you want to join in, let me know. We got a super chat from Rick Corrales. Rick, what's up, buddy? $5 super chat. What took so long for Dark Order to get their push? Heels? Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think Tony Khan always kind of saw them as a comedy group. I don't know. I always believe that Tony Khan messed up with the Dark Order, to be honest. I always felt like Tony Khan did them wrong. Not keeping Stu Grayson originally was a mistake. I think that was some bullshit. I think when you're AEW and you have these talent, it's just priorities, man. They have very, very weird priorities. And that's going to be an issue for AEW for a while, to be honest. Because if you go back, you can constantly see my flow of like good and negative, like positive, negative content. And I think when you see that type of content from my channel, you can typically see those are happening in strides when AEW is doing really good and then when AEW is doing really bad or when they're in the middle. So I think AEW will constantly have this issue of staying on track because it's not going to happen right away. It's not something that Tony Khan's going to be able to do right away. It's not something that Tony Khan, in all honesty, is going to be able to like. I don't think he's going to really be able to do it until he really gets AEW established. That's my point. I think if AEW can get established and like have a team working for him and like people actually helping him out, because I think he does take a big workload, clearly. I mean, I don't think you have to work for AEW to understand that Tony Khan does a lot for AEW. And I don't think you have to be an idiot to not. I don't think. Let's just move on because I think Tony Khan. I think everybody knows that Tony Khan is in a situation where he's got Fulham, he's got the Jacksonville Jags, he's got all of these different teams, he's got all of these different businesses. He's doing a lot of shit, okay? Tony Khan's a busy guy. That's what it comes down to. And that's really what it is. I see that all the time. People don't... It's not to be... I'm not trying to like criticize Tony Khan, but what I'm trying to say is he definitely needs help. We know this guy has a good ear and eye for wrestling. We know when he's really focused and he's really good, AEW is really good. We know when AEW is not good, they're not good. So, again, it's what I keep saying. You don't got to reinvent the wheel. You just got to drive it, bro. And in Tony Khan's situation, maybe he just needs some people to help him take the workload. You know, that's just me personally. But nonetheless, we'll keep it moving. Thank you again, Rick, for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Let's keep it going. More stuff in the chat. Anthony Oderwald says, with this being a story now, do we not see House of Black for a while? I mean, I think that would be a big mistake, right? Wouldn't that be a big mistake? Why in the world would you not have your world champion? Like, I don't know. Why would, not your world champion, but your world trios champions, right? Why would you not have them? Why would you not have them on TV more often? And granted, you got to remember Rampage is coming, so we'll see what happens with Rampage too, obviously. But I think that would be a costly mistake for AEW, for sure. I think if they don't keep up momentum with him, I think that would be a huge, huge mistake. So that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree. You could disagree. That's totally cool too. But House of Black, if you really want them to be successful, keep them on TV. Rampage and Dynamite, both. Vignettes, video packages, backstage segments, interviews. I don't really give a shit how you do it, but just keep them on TV going forward. We got a super chat from Grey Knight Gamer for $1.99. Hangman and Bucks reunite and Kenny to singles. First of all, thank you, Grey Knight Gamer, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think the Hangman and the Bucks reuniting thing could make sense. I think Kenny Omega to singles could make a lot of sense. It's hard to say what will actually happen, though, because the Dark Order. I think there's a lot more involved with Dark Order than anything. I made a video on it, though. I did talk about CM Punk joining BCC. So that could be really cool. That was just speculation, hypotheticals, being a smart booker. But yeah, I think Kenny Omega being singles makes the most sense. I don't really want Kenny Omega to not. I want Kenny Omega to be in singles action. He doesn't need to be involved with the Elite. But then again, too, we'll find out what's going on because Kenny could be a free agent. Kenny could be leaving AEW. We don't know. That's something that people got to remember, too. Gray Knight Gamer, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. We got another super chat from Albert Ponce for $5. We need Sabin, Butcher, Blade, and TV more. They work good together. Top Flight Kingdom feud spilling over and getting acknowledged was cool. And no Jeff Jarrett, yes. Yeah, I mean, these are all great points. Sabin, Butcher, Blade on TV, but unfortunately, they're always going to be looked like jobbers. I feel like AEW is always going to treat Kip Sabian like a jobber. You know why they treat him like a jobber? This is not like I'm not trying to like hate on Kip Sabian, by the way, because if you guys know, go back and watch Double or Nothing 19 when I talked about him versus Sammy Guevara. I was familiar with both of their work before they signed AEW. Kip Sabian goes out for a year because of injury. Wears the box on his head. Overrated, underrated, over it. He comes back. They don't do shit with him. I mean, the proof is on the television product when you watch the show. You can see that they're not doing shit with him. So I like these guys together. I thought aesthetically as well, they look great together. So for me personally, that is something I would like to see. I mean, I thought they did work well together. By the way, Sting, Darby, and Orange Cassidy, man, that was kind of fun too. That was a fun match, by the way. But yeah, I agree with that. Top Flight Kingdom feud spilling over and getting acknowledged was cool. Yeah, exactly. It makes a lot of sense. I really, really want to pay attention to the Supercard of Honor because I think a lot of people are forgetting about Supercard of Honor, Reach for the Sky ladder match. That's something I'm super excited for. I'm guessing that both of these teams will be in that match. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how AEW or ROH is planning that, but that'll be very interesting. And then, yeah, no Jeff Jarrett, which I'm kind of sad about. But, yeah. Thank you, Albert, for the super chat. We got another super chat from Mr. Corona, $4.99. Who would be more integral to this current BCC versus Elite story, Kota Ibushi or Jay White? I mean, when you really, really, really think about it, right? Kota Ibushi and Kenny and their history, if it was on television, it would be really good. Because of their history. No matter what, though, in this situation, Tony Khan has to explain the history with Jay White and Kota. Because Jay White's use on TV is not very much. They haven't used them very much. So who would be more integral? I would say Kota Ibushi. I think Kota being in AEW would be far more advantageous than Jay White. I believe Jay White should go to WWE. I think Kota Ibushi should go to AEW. We don't know how it's going to go down or what's going to happen, but I just think, historically speaking, it would make more sense for BCC and the Elite to have some sort of involvement from Kota. And the way that you could do the Kota thing, obviously, this is long-term booking, but just to kind of give you some food for thought, you got this thing going on right now with television. Don Callis is being a shady asshole. Kenny Omega can't necessarily see it yet. Like, he's not very much like following along what's happening with Don Callis. At some point, Don Callis and Kenny Omega's story will continue to progress. Kenny could go away from the Elite. Maybe Kenny Omega continues to lose himself, and then you have Kota Ibushi being there to save Kenny Omega. That's how I kind of see it going down. So to answer your question, bro, I would really say that it goes down. For me personally, I would say it's Kota Ibushi. That would make more sense. Mr. Corona, thank you for your $5 super chat. Appreciate you. We got a new super chat from Terrence Lacey. That looks like a new user, new commenter. I haven't seen Terrence Lacey in the chat before, so shout out to Terrence Lacey. I swear I'm rooting for AEW, but god damn, they're not using their wrestlers correctly. Who's in Tony's ear? Yeah, I mean, there's certain wrestlers who aren't. You can clearly tell when you watch AEW, there's certain wrestlers who they've been handled very well. You can tell when you watch AEW Dynamite, there's also some people who have not been handled very well. And it just kind of goes back to what I was saying about Kip Sabian, right? Like, these guys, they get teased for something big and then they don't do something, and it gets frustrating, because you're not seeing everything unfold in momentum, But I feel like tonight was Tonight was good for everybody. And I like that Taya Valkyrie, you know, she's got something going with Jade. Like, there's storyline progression for everybody, but it doesn't change the fact that I think some people are not being used correctly. Right? I think if you watch the show, and guess what? The same thing will be said for every company. I'm talking specifically AEW because tonight we're talking about Dynamite. But if you look at Impact, WWE, AEW, GCW, MLW, NJPW, all of these wrestling companies that exist, I swear, there's always going to be somebody who is not utilized properly. But I do notice in AEW, since the entire time they've been around, they have a really strange situation where some people are handled better than others. And just tonight, the stories were good. Tonight, progression. Tonight, we're seeing something special, just like last week. Now I can't wait for next week's Dynamite. There's still some people who I don't give a shit about. It's AEW's job to eventually flip the switch and make me care about them. Terrence Lacey, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate that very much. Guys, I'm going to try to get in Justin. Let's see if I could get Justin into a call really quickly. Justin Kennington's one of the longtime VIP members. If you guys don't know, sometimes what I do on this channel is when you're a channel member, sometimes I like to bring in some of my VIP members, and I like to bring them into a quick call through Discord. So if you guys aren't in the Discord server, make sure you definitely get into Discord because it's just like the spot to be. A lot of cool things happening there. Let me see if I could get Justin into a call. Justin. All right, give me a second, guys. What's up, Alexander Fortney? Thanks for joining. Okay, while we're waiting for Justin, we'll keep the stream going. So make sure you guys are throwing up some of your comments and stuff in the chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking of the show. What did you guys think of Dynamite, though? I thought it was solid. I'm going to put up a poll on my community tab, by the way. Let's see what people are saying. What did you think of AEW Dynamite tonight? Text poll. I keep my polls simple, by the way. If you've ever wondered why I asked good, bad, or didn't watch, because if you thought it was good in most ways, then it's not a bad show. If you thought it was bad, then that means you thought most of the show was bad, and none of it was good. Gianni T says, is FTR going to WWE? That's a great question. Can't answer that. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. They put their careers on the line against FTR. I have no idea. I think they're leaving, but I don't know, bro. Okay, Justin hasn't jumped on the call. So I'm waiting for Justin. We got a super chat from Terrence Lacey again for $20. Yeah, bro, I'm a subscriber. Me and my wife been watching you for a minute. Unfortunately, she passed away shortly after giving birth to our baby girl. She was a fan of AEW. I appreciate the shout out. My story is strictly legit. Terrence, first of all, I am so sorry for your loss. Beyond wrestling, I talk about this quite a bit. I always say that real life stuff comes before wrestling, right? Health, everything, family, health, everything comes before pro wrestling. So for you to share your story with us today, I just want to let you know. I want to let you know firsthand, like, I'm sorry for your loss. You know what I mean? I am really sorry for your loss. Secondly, I appreciate you being a fan of the channel. That means a lot. And third, I just want to say also thank you for the super chat. You don't have to do that, guys. Super chats, you never have to do super chats. They're always helpful, but you don't have to. And I do appreciate that. Justin, what's up, buddy? Justin, can you hear me? Hello, Justin. Hey, Justin. I just need you to turn your volume down from the computer or laptop or whatever you're on. If you could do that. And then as soon as you do that, we're Gucci. We'll talk a little bit. Yes, it's perfect. All right, Justin. I got Justin Kennington here on the channel. Justin's one of the VIP members on the channel. I told Justin last time that he could be able to call in. Justin, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. What'd you think of Dynamite tonight?
It was good. I love the main event. TK needs to sign that guy.
I agree. Vikingo is so. Have you ever watched any of his AAA matches or no?
Yeah, that's my first time watching him. He's really good.
Yeah, he's sick. See, the thing is, there was a point in time where I've seen Vikingo on AAA, and I don't know like how they do their events. One of them was like Triple Mania or something like that. But I remember watching them, and a lot of those moves that Kenny did tonight, or I'm sorry, that he did against Kenny tonight, he did prior. And I remember seeing some of those things, and I'm like, man, I really want him to do like that reverse 630 splash into a Hurricanrana or whatever the hell it is off the top rope.
Yeah.
You know, and he's insane. So the fact that this was your first exposure to him, let me ask you, because you don't know who he is, how did you feel when AEW announced this dream match for a wrestler you've never heard about?
They should have saved this for Forbidden Door. I feel they should have saved him, do vignettes or something, tease it or something, and then set it up for like Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Just to set it up randomly just didn't feel like, for people like me, outsiders that didn't know who he was, didn't really know who he was, so I didn't expect anything.
Yeah. And like when you saw this match, obviously you said that AEW should sign him, Tony Khan should sign him, but if AEW signs him, do you think AEW can do anything with him special? Because today he came off as like a special appearance, right? It came off as a special attraction. But if you constantly have that special attraction on TV all the time, it's not going to feel that way. So don't you think it would kind of be a mistake? See, that's the thing. I kind of think it would be a mistake for him to sign him and then like not do anything with him. Because historically speaking, AEW signs people and then they don't do people with him, you know?
Yeah, they gotta find somebody, like pair him up with Ray Phoenix. Just have matches with Ray Phoenix, Pentagon, make them a trio, and go for the trios belt.
Yeah, hey,
Something like that.
that's. I can only suggest so many things to Tony Khan and AEW. You know what I mean?
Because that's the only thing I can think of. Because I don't know if he's gonna get a title shot anytime soon because of the 24/7 7-Eleven TNT Championship belt. You know?
Yo, that's not nice. No, I'm kidding. That is what it is. The TNT champion.
If he beat Hobbs, they probably would just the next week he'll lose it back to Hobbs.
So what do you think of quality TV then with QT Marshall?
I'm gonna give it a chance.
Honestly,
I don't like it right now, but
I kind of like
give
it.
it a chance.
I kind of like it.
I want to see where it goes. I don't know where it's leading to.
Aaron Solo in the segment said he hacked Dave Meltzer's Twitter. So Dave Meltzer's Twitter did get hacked, and I just thought that was funny. You know what I mean? This stuff is clearly a parody. It's clearly a rib. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it needs to lead to something, though. I don't know what it's going to lead to, but it needs to lead to something. It can't just be him doing this every week, and it's just going to get old real quick.
Oh, for sure. I'm with you. I totally agree with that. And that just comes within time, you know what I mean? It's important that they get it right. But well, let's do this cuz I have a few minutes and then I do have some other super chats to read. But is there anything that you want to talk about really quickly?
Yeah, I am really excited for WrestleMania. This is like my first WrestleMania in like 4 years.
Okay.
I'm this excited for, and I can't wait for it. Like the last WrestleMania I was this excited for was 34, and it under delivered, and I just hope this one delivers.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I don't think there's a better time than what we're seeing with wrestling. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
AEW last week and this week, AEW's been on fire. I think WWE's been tremendous in the last 8 to 9 months. WrestleMania this year is going to be massive. Last year, I don't know if a lot of people remember this. It was the most insane thing ever. So last year during the channel, and I can't remember, Justin, if you were a VIP member at that time. But last
I
year,
wasn't.
okay, so last year during WrestleMania week, from Raw, we went Raw, NXT, Dynamite. Thursday, I think, was Impact or Supercard of Honor or something like that. Friday was SmackDown Rampage, Supercard of Honor. Saturday, we did like a whole bunch of shows. Obviously, NXT, Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2. I was live for over so many hours last week, and I'm not even joking. When it was all said and done, the channel gained thousands of subscribers, thousands of super chats, tons and tons and tons of new members. And that was my first, like, I don't know if people remember this, but that was my first time doing WrestleMania week as a full-time YouTuber. So, we had thousands of viewers. It was the most insane, but yet the most exciting thing ever. This year, I'm going to do some cool stuff with WrestleMania week for the live streams. I got a ton of, partners, channel, like sponsors and stuff. So we'll be doing some giveaways. We're going to make it a big deal. We're going to have fun with it. So just so you know, Justin, because this will be your first Ango Mania WrestleMania week type of thing, it's a fun time on the channel. And I just want everybody to know those live streams will not be short. Those live streams, everybody's going to get their chance to call in. Questions will be answered. I'm so excited for WrestleMania this year. I don't think I've been this excited for WrestleMania in a very, 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 very long time. And then the best part is, Justin, honestly, after watching AEW last week and this week, if they keep this up for Double or Nothing, I want to go to Vegas for Double or Nothing. Because a lot of people don't know. I went to the first Double or Nothing. Then I tried to go in 2020. COVID didn't allow me to go because they shut down the travel. They canceled the events and everything. So I wasn't able to do that. But this year, like, the number one thing I want to do on this channel, just for anybody who's listening, I want to go to these events, go out and do interviews, talk to fans, interview fans at these events. Like, I want to create content. That's a big part of me being a full-time YouTuber, is like, I want to do those things. And this is the year to do it. But I don't want to spend my hard-earned money to go to an event that's like not intriguing to me. So like Full Gear, Revolution, none of those shows mattered to me. Honestly, those pay-per-views they didn't matter. This is the first time where I think AEW as well has a pay-per-view where like it's been a while since I've been this geeked. I can't wait for Memorial Day weekend for AEW Double or Nothing. And then next week we get WrestleMania. And then the best part is too, we got SummerSlam in Detroit in August. So it's crazy. It's so crazy. I'm so excited about that. You're not the only one who's excited, my friend, but I'm super excited.
I remember the Raw After Mania you did, because that was the first time I subscribed to your channel.
Yeah. I
remember that.
Oh my God. Dude, those streams were fun too. We kept going. We were streaming. See, the thing is, I want to stream so much more. But the thing is, and I've always tell people, it's like, it's kind of hard because with viewership, I don't want to stream to 20 people. And I don't want to do just like a typical review show. Like for me going live, I want to casually sit down for 2-3 hours and just talk to you guys about wrestling. But in order to live stream for 2-3 hours and talk wrestling, you got to have an interactive chat. You got to have people ask questions and do things, So last year we did a lot of streaming. Then we kind of took a break for the summer a little bit here and there. And then in the last month or so, my big thing, and it's funny because I see the guys talking about it in the chat, Darren and Rick, they're talking about how my camera used to cut out. So that was a big issue too, is my camera used to cut out, but now it's all been taken care of. So now I don't have an issue where my camera dies out in an hour. So I could actually stream for like 55 hours straight if I really, really wanted to. But yeah, it's going to be cool. Raw after Mania, SmackDown after Mania, all those shows, I'll be live. We're going to get to a point where I'm on a consistent schedule for live streams if everybody wants me to go live. If people want me to go live, I'll go live. You know what I mean?
So Ango.
Yeah.
One last question.
Sure. Hit me.
Since we're talking about WrestleMania, what's your favorite WrestleMania of all time? Because mine's 24.
Yeah, so my favorite WrestleMania, Well, it's like it as like a fan, it's tough because I'm always going to be biased towards WrestleMania 34 because I was there. That was the only WrestleMania I've ever gone to in my life. So I'm always going to pick that WrestleMania, but I'm not stupid. I know that like other WrestleManias have been better. I know this is also going to sound really, 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 really crazy, and I know a lot of people are really, really, really going to hate this answer. But WrestleMania during COVID, there's something about that was incredible to me. I know it was.
That boneyard match was insane.
Yeah, I don't think it gets a lot of credit, and I get it. COVID was the pandemic era of wrestling. It was so crazy. There was a lot of bullshit. Like, people they weren't able to get cleared. They had to change matches. They were doing a whole bunch of stuff, and they managed to make that WrestleMania. And I can only speak on it from like a personal point of like during the pandemic, it was depressing. You couldn't go places. It was like shutdowns, this and that, and just a whole bunch of, it was like you turn on the TV, everything was negative. You talk to people, everything was negative. I remember watching WrestleMania that weekend and just being like, damn, like that was great. For something that shouldn't have been great, it was great. And honestly, I always say this too, a lot of props in hindsight, looking back, AEW and WWE had some really good quality TV during the pandemic. Really good quality. Really, really good quality. AEW as well. So
I love that Mimosa segment with Orange Cassidy and Jericho.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I'm with you, man. And I say that too. And like people, I remember laughing at the time, be like, yeah, it kind of sucks and it's kind of stupid. But then it's like over time you start to realize like it's not stupid. Like do some funny shit. Yeah. Have fun a little bit. It's okay to laugh a little bit, So I agree with you.
I thought I was going to hate those days of the pandemic, but now remember them, it wasn't that bad.
Not at all.
It was really good TV.
Not at all. I agree.
The Bloodline was a part of that pandemic, so.
Yeah. It was the birth of a great story.
Ever, right?
Yeah. Well, Justin, I appreciate you jumping on Discord with me.
No, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, and
you're one of the best YouTubers.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. But I appreciate you just supporting and showing love. And I know you drop super chats every so often, and you are a member of the channel. And I really do appreciate that. And thank you for all of the support. Seriously, Justin, it means a lot.
You too, man. Hey, let's do this again sometime.
Absolutely. 100%. You got it. All right. Take care.
See you, buddy.
Yep. All right, big thank you to Justin Kennington for being a member. Guys, I saw some super chats come in, so I do want to address those. Albert Ponce dropped a $5 super chat. So a new Saturday show is cool, but since we have Battle of the Belts, why has that not been live? And can we change Rampage to a different day, please? Albert, from my understanding, and I don't want to say anything 100% is confirmed, but I hear in some capacity with the new TV deal, we will see change to Rampage. I don't know much more than that. But that's kind of the thing that I'm hearing is after the TV deal, we can expect some change with Rampage. With that being said, Battle of the Belts to me was always extra content. It never really made sense for AEW to do it. I get why they do it, but it never really made sense for them to do it. So just kind of one of those things I'll say that more than likely Battle of the Belts probably not going to be a big priority for them. With the new show starting, I talked about it in my news video. I think that's going to be in July 8th is what the date was. Honestly, I don't know what their plan is, so unfortunately I can't speak too much. But if it's AEW Collision, I have a feeling that show is going to be pre-taped, and then once in a while they'll go live. That's my guess. Having a Saturday show is a very interesting choice, though, considering that sometimes they do pay-per-views on Saturdays. So that, to me, tells me that AEW more than likely is going to have to change around that date or for that show sometimes, just like they do with Rampage, because they technically have done that a couple times with Rampage. Like, for example, Rampage is going to be on Saturday this week instead of Friday. So that's my guess. Albert, appreciate the super chat. We got another super chat from Terrence Lacey. Lastly, keep doing your thing, man. I support those that support me. I literally watch your channel grow. Wrestling in your channel helps me cope with my loss. Thank you again. Hashtag 80s baby, WCW fan. Terrence, thanks for the love, man. It's, I love this stuff. I love making videos. I love talking about wrestling. I want to talk more wrestling. I have big aspirations for this channel. I think everybody who kind of knows since day one, they know I've been wanting to do a lot more. And there's a lot more that's coming. There's a lot more on the way, obviously, but it's kind of tough because I do this 100% independently. I don't have any backers. I don't have any financial backers. I don't have any resources like that. But I do. I mean, I said this last year. I'll say it again for a reminder. This channel one day will be a live studio show every single day. I mean, that is what is going to happen on this channel. A live studio show. A live studio wrestling talk show talking about the biggest news, the biggest stories, the biggest rumors. That's not a joke. That is going to be what happens. We're going to go from green screen to an actual film studio, and it's going to happen one day with the channel growing, the super chats. I mean, literally, if you guys want to know what the super chats and all that stuff literally does, becoming a member and super chats and subscriptions and likes, comments, following on Twitter or joining Discord, buying merchandise, anything like that, all of those things literally get me one step closer to eventually turning this into a live studio wrestling talk show, which I don't see anybody else doing it, and I don't think anybody else will be able to bring my vision to life other than me. And I do this 100% independently. So, I appreciate the love. That is why I love doing this. I love wrestling, and I love talking to people about wrestling. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the fact that people are so negative to one another. I think that is the probably the worst thing about being a YouTuber is seeing people be a piece of shit to one another about their wrestling opinions, because I don't think there's right or wrong. You know what I mean? I don't try to convince people to think the way I think. I think everybody should love wrestling for how they love wrestling. I just like to talk about it from my perspective, and things that maybe I would do differently. But yeah, man, I appreciate the super chat, Terrence. Thank you. You dropped quite a few super chats today. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. And if you ever need anything, man, we're here. We're also on Discord, so you can always join. I always tell people to join Discord because we're always shooting the shit in Discord. So thank you, Terrence, for the super chat. Shout out to Corey Moore becoming a member on the channel. Appreciate you. That was very, very nice of you. Thank you. Now Corey Moore has access to the badge on the channel. After a month, he's going to go from the bronze belt to a gold belt. So there you go. We got some more comments. C. Brooks says, you've grown this channel so much. I started watching the channel around 2017, 2018. I think is when I found out about this channel. Congrats on the build and grinding it out in a dying industry. Hey, this wrestling industry will never die out. I'm very, very firm on that. And if AEW keeps doing what they did tonight, I don't expect it to die out anytime soon. And the best part is Impact is killing it. WWE is killing it. Everybody's killing it. It's all good. So I'm super excited to see. I'm super excited to see what happens next. But yeah, thank you, C. Brooks. Appreciate that. Lots of great things happening in this chat. Darren says the lights out match with Brett and Thunder Rosa was the best. Obviously in reference to the pandemic era. That was sick, man. I do remember that. A lot of people hated it, but I liked it. I liked that match. I always said it's like, you don't need the blood in the matches, but that was one of those matches where it was just such a good match. Very, very good match. I remember that. Darren also mentioning the house shows on Saturday too. That is very true. Super Chat Championship coming. Albert, I feel like I really, really want to do something with the Super Chat thing. And it's tough, right? It's tough. The Super Chat Championship, there's going to be a way to, at some point, there's going to be a way to like fix it. I could put on the stream the person who has the most Super Chats for the stream. And then I can put on the screen the person who has the most Super Chats for the month. Maybe we can roll that out. Albert, I'll message you on Discord because you're really good with ideas. I'll message you on after the stream, and we'll figure that out. Terrence also saying, I hope Impact invades the Forbidden Door. Guys, I got invited to Impact Wrestling this Friday for Sacrifice, live on Impact Plus. So I will be there. At least the plan is to be there. The cool thing from Detroit to Windsor, it's like an hour drive maybe. Well, at least from where I live. So I'll be making the drive to Canada. I'm going to go cross country. And I'm going to be watching Impact. They have a massive card Friday. Very, very big show. As you guys know, I'm a massive fan of Impact. I constantly talk about how Impact's my favorite promotion. Impact at Forbidden Door would be great. We got to wait and see what happens with Impact and NJPW. Because during WrestleMania week, that show is going to be insane. I don't even know how I'm going to be able to stream it all, guys. There's so many freaking shows. There's like 20 shows going on. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. Darren Buss, what's up, Darren? Darren's dropping a $4.99 super chat. Love your show. Keep doing what you do. Great things will come. Darren's been in my comments literally for a very, very, very long time. So I appreciate that, Darren. You're the man. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Darren, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Darren was here even last year WrestleMania week. So it's cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. The cool thing is when I see you guys pop up with super chats or comments or commenting on my videos or something, it's like I know there's like a handful of you guys that I don't forget about because I remember seeing you guys on my channel for a very, very, very long time. And I won't forget you guys. You know what I mean? I won't forget you guys one bit. Rick says, I like Discord. Thank you, Darren, by the way. Just want to reiterate that. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Rick says, I like the Discord. It's so much better than the Twitch, I think. Twitch was fun. When I signed the deal with Twitch last year, that was really cool. It was a fun experience. Twitch, I think it's a cool platform. There's things that are good about Twitch. There's things that are bad about Twitch. Just like there's things good about YouTube and things bad about YouTube. And same thing could be said for Discord and everything else. But with Discord, I just like the fact that I can communicate with you guys in real time. And I want to be more active on it too. So like I bought an iPad and everything, and I'll probably be just chilling on Discord all the time. It's just sometimes I'll be recording and Discord goes off, but it's just cool like being able to chat with everybody for sure. But yeah, definitely I think Discord is sweet. Darren says pro wrestling's on fire right now. Going to my monthly indie show Saturday night, Great Lakes Wrestling Association. I've never heard of GLWA, but oh wait, actually I do remember it because Darren, I think you sent that to me at one point on Twitter. Yeah, that would be sick. I wish Michigan had more indie wrestling though. That's kind of the unfortunate part, but. Brooks says thoughts on ROH. I haven't been keeping up completely because I assumed AEW would fill us in. I'm not interested in the ladder match and making Jay smile down. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. You are interested. I thought you said you're not interested. My bad. I'm most interested in the ladder match and making Jay smile down. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that match. Ring of Honor, it doesn't have a huge audience. And I want to be like really, really transparent with you guys. Because I think people are just judging ROH based on the fact that Tony Khan owns it. And that's freaking annoying, okay? So basically, Ring of Honor has never been a true viable TV option. Like, it's never really been like a big promotion. It's always been kind of like a feeder system, right? Like, people left Ring of Honor and went on to become stars. But Ring of Honor did not have good ownership. When Sinclair had ROH, they sucked. Like, there's a reason why it was on syndicated TV. There's a reason why it flopped on Pop TV. Or was it Destination America? One of the two. There's a reason why Ring of Honor doesn't have a massive audience. The one thing that helped with Ring of Honor, though, especially was the fact that they had a relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Long before AEW existed, Ring of Honor and NJPW worked together. So now Ring of Honor has about 20,000. Last time it was about 12,000. So we'll say anywhere from 12 to 20,000 people subscribe to the platform. Looking out from the outside looking in, yeah, it's definitely a crazy. It's a crazy thing for people to, because I think a lot of people are going to look at that and be like, oh, that's not a lot of people. But the app for Ring of Honor costs $10 a month. So they're making money from the app. And you get to watch it. It's ad free. Obviously, you want a TV deal for Ring of Honor. Ideally, that's what you want. But I've talked about that in the past where I think Ring of Honor could be really good. It's actually been somewhat enjoyable. I just hate the fact that there's so many matches happening. It's like match, backstage segment, match, backstage segment, match, backstage segment. There needs to be a little bit of change, but it's been really good for the first 3 episodes. It's up to Tony Khan to make it work. It's up to Tony Khan to make that happen, and I think if Tony Khan makes it happen, people will be relatively happy about it, you know? That's again, it's up to Tony Khan to do that. Tony Khan, that's what I was saying earlier about like Dynamite last week was really good. Dynamite this week was really good. I want Tony Khan to keep making AEW's television like this really good. I feel like he needs a little bit of help. So he is not. Between everything he has, he needs to be dedicated to make sure AEW is the best. He should have somebody run Ring of Honor. It's as simple as that. That's what I would do. Yeah. We got a super chat from Justin Kennington for $2. So, Angle, what changes are coming to WWE after Mania? I made a video on this for more Angle, but basically there are some rumors that the brand split is going to be really, 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 really big priority for WWE. Championship belt changes, stage design changes. There's a couple other things that are rumored. WWE potentially doing pay-per-view specifically for each brand was another thing. Also, some really big returns, some new signings, some big debuts, some big call-ups. A lot of people that you may have thought that Triple H forgot about. So this is another one. If you thought Triple H forgot about some talent or some returns, and maybe you thought Triple H wasn't pushing them, my friends, get ready for what Triple H is about to do, because that's not the case. Triple H never forgot. It's all a timing thing. Triple H is a very smart man. And yeah, there's more to come. Thank you, Justin, for the $2 super chat. Steven Isaacs dropping a $1.99 super chat. AEW needs a brand split. I've talked about this twice now. Once on this channel, and then I spoke about this actually on my More Ango channel. So if you guys aren't subscribed to More Ango, you guys could check that out. Those are more of my opinion things. Those will probably be longer opinion videos. Right now they're kind of around like 9 to 10 minutes, but I'll probably go a lot longer with those. That's like more of a podcast style channel with wrestling. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But yeah, I think a brand split would be very, very beneficial to AEW. And I've said that quite a bit. I'm very firm on that. I still believe that would be a solution. Even when AEW has good television today, last week, whatever it is, I do believe that a brand split fixes a lot for that company. Thank you, Steven Isaacs, for the super chat, by the way. Appreciate that. Alexander Fortney says, I just purchased the 2K23 season pass. It is $39.99 on PS4. Yeah, I don't know what the prices are for all the DLC and stuff. I've been, I had the Icon edition, so everything comes with it. But I haven't been live, or I haven't been making Angle Plays content in a couple days. It's probably been like 4 or 5 days. Just been busy. I don't know if you guys can tell how busy I am with this channel. TikTok, guys, this is so cool. My TikTok blew up. I got a couple million view videos. So that's really cool. And I just gained like 6,000 followers on there, 300,000 likes on there. And I just been started posting on TikTok this past week. So I've been really busy. I'm trying to stay busy on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, everything like that. And yeah, I don't know. Everything's been kind of cool. I should do some more Ango stuff. Maybe we'll play 2K23 tonight. You guys want me to go live for 2K23? Let me know. If you guys want me to go live, I'll go live. We could go live on Angle Plays. LOL, the female character you created killed you. No, bro, that was fun. I enjoyed that, honestly. I just kind of want to start doing my career or my rise with my actual guy now. But if you guys want, we could jump into 2K23 on Angle Plays. I can do that. Corey Moore says, if Tony Khan would invest in ROH more, there wouldn't be a need for a brand split. No, there would still need a... I disagree. I'm not going to lie. I think there needs to be a brand split between AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage. I think Rampage and Dynamite need to be both 2-hour shows. And then I think what needs to happen... I think both of those shows need a brand split. And then I think ROH also needs its own roster. It's completely separate from AEW. Completely separated from Dynamite and Rampage. That's just my opinion, though. I think they really need to do that, honestly. I think so, at least. TikTok's too complicated for you, Darren? It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Shubham Singh. I am from India. I daily watch your videos. Hey, thank you, Shubham. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, I do apologize. But thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Shout out to India. Thank you everybody from India who watches. It is so cool watching wrestling and then like making videos on it and just seeing like an audience from everywhere. Just really cool, honestly. Yeah, the Omega match is sick. Honestly, it was really good. How about ROH Collision? I don't know if Ring of Honor really needs a show name, but it sounds like AEW is doing their own show called Collision. But you never know. Maybe Tony Khan can change it. You guys want me to go live with 2K23? We can do that. It's been a little bit over 60 minutes for this. We can go live on Angle Plays. Because I haven't been doing anything. I'll do my career. I made my custom guy anyway, so we can do my career. Yeah, let's do that. Let me link the channel for you guys. We'll play WWE 2K23. That's the channel. I just threw it in the chat. So if you guys want, give me about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be on that chat. I'll be on that channel in about 5 to 10 minutes because I got to set up the stream. It's a little bit different than streaming here. But I'll get that all changed over. I'll be live. Thank you guys, everybody, for all the new subscribers, all the super chats, all the likes, the comments, the chat, everything. I appreciate you guys. I'll be live on WWE 2K23. Let's get that started. I should be live in about 5 to 10 minutes. So make sure you guys are on that channel. I'll be there, and I'll see you guys. Thank you for watching.